Okay, good morning everyone from Central Australia, and wherever you are, I hope you're happy and I hope you're healthy. This is episode 727, Blind Magic in Alice Springs, and I'm sure you know who I am. All right, big news across the world today with the announcement that King Charles has been diagnosed with a form of cancer. Okay, so the first thing to say is that in a previous podcast, I did indicate that information post his recent surgical procedure would be very interesting in terms of providing information to men that could be vital information toward their own health care. And I know a lot of you out there will be thinking, royalty, King Charles, who cares? Far removed from any of us. I get that. But you know what? The degrees of separation between us and those in high places is not that large, particularly in cases like this. King Charles has been uniquely transparent, sharing a lot about his older man's health issues. Because what he is going through is similar to what a lot of older men either have been through or will go through. So the fact that he's chosen to share his personal battle with us, I think is a good thing. Because as I've constantly said, collective wisdom must always be our guide, which means based on our experiences of real life matters, and that's exactly what's going on with King Charles. So we too, as older men, those of you who share that experience with me, we too can learn from what is happening. So let's not surmise, let's not second guess. Let's just stick to the facts. King Charles was diagnosed and was being treated for an enlarged prostate. In his case, the medication failed him, so therefore he moved on to a surgical procedure. During that surgical procedure, there would have been tests conducted, which simply would have been a routine part of the process. I'm sure these tests would have been done with the full consent of King Charles, and those tests have revealed that he does have a form of cancer. We don't know what form of cancer it is. We don't know, for example, that it is prostate cancer, so we cannot and should not, and certainly I will not jump to conclusions. But I think what we can say is that King Charles has done exactly the right thing. He's got on the front foot, tried to relieve himself of the symptoms associated with the enlarged prostate, and in doing so, and in requesting, along with his doctors, making the joint decision to have this surgery, there has been this discovery. So he has every right now to be positive. I think we can say that there's every likelihood that because it has been discovered at this stage, whatever the cancer is, that it's in the early phases, which means that whatever the treatment plan is from now on, whether it be chemo, medication or otherwise, then his chances of success with this battle are so much higher. And that's right, so much higher. And we do know there has been incredible advances when it comes to the treatment of all forms of cancer. So the odds are okay. The odds are okay that he will make a speedy recovery. So what does that tell us? It tells us to follow his lead. Absolutely to follow his lead. I'm lucky. I do have an enlarged prostate. I am treating that with medication, as I have indicated in a previous episode. And so far, I would regard my symptoms as being manageable and stable. But if I do have doubts, I will most definitely investigate further and conduct whatever tests are necessary in order to establish whether there is something more sinister lurking in my system. Yes, I will. I will take King Charles and his lead. You see, although he is the king, his honesty means he is not removed from the rest of us. And the rest of us will be observing and will practice whatever is required to manage our own medical affairs. Oh yes, we will. I'm sure we will. Because that is what resolutions are about. It's about observation and learning, and then applying that wisdom to our own circumstances. And just on this, the other day I spoke about a reflex point for the prostate, and I'd just like to go through that again because I wasn't that happy with how I explained how to palpate this area. Okay, I've got my left thumb in my right hand, in between my thumb and my index finger. With my index finger, I'm now locating the spot, the reflex point, which is underneath the skin. You will find the fascial tissue, and in the belly of the thumb, in that fascial tissue, you'll find an indentation. As I said, in the belly of the thumb. That is, folks, that is the reflex point for the prostate. And I'm now gently rocking and rolling my index finger backwards and forwards over that point, and I'm now rotating in a clockwise direction, and now anti-clockwise. Yeah, I'm just having a bit of a play here, and therefore I am stimulating this point. That's just one of the things that we can do to manage our prostate integrity. And as I said previously, other things that you can do include consulting with your doctor about medication that can shrink the prostate, and maybe even talking to him about further tests that you may be able to conduct in order to rule out any other nasties. Yeah, that's what I would do. And remember, I did speak about when you are next sitting on the toilet, this applies to men, then interrupt your urine flow occasionally, maybe in 4-second lots. Of course, that is achieved by drawing in your pelvic muscles and interrupt the flow maybe 4 seconds at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, release. Yes, and again. 1, 2, 3, 4, release. And just doing that every now and again will just tone up the pelvic muscles that can mitigate against issues that may be arising from the stimulation of the urethra of the enlarged prostate. Some, as I said, have the reverse problem where the urethra is compressed to the point whereby urine flow is in fact difficult to impossible. In that case, once again, work with your doctor in terms of the medication that's out there and maybe any other procedures. But yeah, just chatting, talking to other men who do have similar problems. As I said, collective wisdom. I love it, love it. I think it's absolutely the way to go. Remember, you are in charge of your own destiny, ultimately. But I say to King Charles, God bless the King. We wish you well. And of course that goes also to Queen Camilla, who's been a bit of a superstar, I might say. It wasn't that long ago she was not in favour. But wow, hasn't she blossomed? Not only as the Queen Consort alongside of the King, but also as a woman. She really has blossomed and become a statesperson within her own right. She has. I think she has anyway. All right, that's it, folks. This has been episode 727, a Blind Magic Communications production.